Good morning, students. This is Dr. Silikani, the primary lecturer for the module DPR3704. This video or this presentation, it's being created in order to assist you with the creation of a blog, or particularly with actually being able to do assignment 1. So now to start off, this module is called Production Digital, which means you create digital content, you create a blog. So what is important is that you are not going to be required to write any theoretical assignment, but in fact, you create a blog. You go out and you look for a free blog site and create a blog for a non-profit organization. I think there the keyword is free. It should be free. You shouldn't be paying. I did put up a couple of announcements on the modules page to tell you about where to go and how to create blogs. And then I think we clearly specify that it should be free. So make sure your blog is free. And I'm asking again, please kindly avoid simple site, since there are complications with its free site, meaning I think the blog site tends to expire much earlier than any other sites. So make sure that you don't use simple site, because we need your blog to run over to almost the end of December. That is, of course, towards the end of the examination, meaning your blog will have to be live for the first assignment, the second assignment, and of course, the portfolio, which is the examination. So most important, I'm going to be giving you guidelines on assignment 1. Most important, you are not allowed to create a fictitious organization, meaning you are using an organization that doesn't exist. The purpose of assignment 1 is to actually get information on that particular NPO that you are using on our side. That is why for number 2, we state clearly that the contact details should be there, and you should always strive to include the address, the contact details. We need the telephone numbers, and of course the contact number of the person that you are actually communicating with in a particular organization, who's going to be assisting you with the content that you need for your blog. So moving on. As you would remember, there are 2 lecturers in this module. It's myself, Dr. Silikani, and Miss Molokume. So with that in mind, you can send your queries to both of us, but I think a request was made with the letters regarding if you need a letter for an organization. A special request was made that all those requests should be sent to myself, not to Miss Molokume. Thank you. And then starting off with assignment 1. You only submit the link to your blog, meaning it will be www.wixsite.com/uthandolabantu.npo. That's the only thing you submit. So, but we won't penalize you if you didn't submit a cover page and a table of content. But I would advise that you do it, because those are the rules of the university, and of course the rules of the department regarding submissions. So declarations should be there. Do what you are expected to do. Since you are an exit level student, it's your last year in the diploma program, make sure that you do things right. Sometimes it's just you remembering what you were taught. Do what is right at all times, just to also display that you've been studying with the institution, that you know the rules. It helps. It helps a lot. So, but for assignment 1, our request is that please only submit the blog link. We don't mark anything in written form. We only mark things that are embedded or actually posted on the blog. We don't mark an assignment on a PDF. That is not what is required in the module. By you doing that, it means you are getting a 0. You don't understand what is required in this particular module. So most important, again, submit only the blog link to your NPO. What should be on the blog that you create? What should be the first things that we see with regard to incorporating or embedding content for assignment 1? Similar to your website, similar to the UNISA website, similar to any organization's website, there should be a mission and vision of the organization. You can go for many NPOs, you can check the gift of the givers. Remember that there should be a mission and vision. Again, on the announcements, I spoke to the issue of using pseudonyms for big organizations. Please check those announcements. I cannot go over it now, but I do even give you a disclaimer regarding changing the name to a different name, so that you don't actually do any damage or actually conflict with what the organization, the big organization, is communicating. So, but I still require, I still say there are many organizations that do not have content, that do not have an online presence. So you can try to work with those smaller organizations, your local school, your local crash, your local soup kitchen, your local charity. Yes, you can try anything that is small. There's nothing wrong with that, because in most cases, that's where the need is. That's where most organizations do not have a presence, especially on a digital platform. I've heard in the past students who have created blogs for organizations who didn't have any online presence or digital presence. And those students have come back to me to say that particular organization has asked me to keep that page up. They've requested me to keep it up because it helps. That people have been contacting them over the past number of months regarding their work, and sort of like somehow been able to attract some sponsors and donors. So yes, just understand that it is important, and I do emphasize that it's fine. Go and work with an organization that doesn't have anything. It's fine as long as that contact really exists. That is not something you create fictitiously. Remember, we ask for the contact details because we are obliged, not to say we are doing it in bad faith, but it's the rules of the modules, that if you are not actually doing what you are expected to do, then it's a zero. You must have an existing organization. You cannot just go and create a fictitious organization. The deadline was the 14th of August. I have granted you an extension by 7 days to 21 August. I do advise that you submit as soon as you are done, because it won't help for everyone to submit on the 21st. And then what happens? The system crashes. So please submit as soon as you are done. Remember, you are only submitting the blog link. You can even submit today and then be able to update your website over the course of the coming days. So you submit today because the blog link won't change since you've started your site, and then you just add content, but the system will record your assignment is submitted. By the time we mark, you'll be done with your blog, because remember, you send the blog link and then be able to edit in your own time after submitting. So don't wait to submit the last day as if this is a written assignment. So the written assignment, you can submit the blog link once you are sure that you are not going to erase that one, that you're going to work with that one up to the end. And then what happens is that even on the 29th, on the 19th, then you just keep on compiling, and actually embedding the content that is required for assignment one. There is no need for you to wait for the last day to submit only a blog link. You can submit it early because you know very well that it won't change. That's just one of the tips that you can use in this module. And you can use the tip going on even to the examination, whereby you submit early the blog link because you are certain it won't change, and then you go to edit as the editor of the blog, as the creator. You edit by actually removing and embedding content for the examination period. So that is one of the tips that we are giving you. Please use it. We might remind you again going through the course of the semester, but we say it's important that you remember those particular maneuvers because they do help. So what should be there? There should be the contact details. There should be a full physical address, a telephone numbers, the email addresses. This is for us to be able to contact your NPO. This we do it for authentication. We need to know very well whether you did approach an organization. Just a second, please. So, what is important with regard to the content of assignment one? You need to create a Facebook account, a Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube account. But for the purpose of assignment one, there is no need for those accounts to have content. But remember, this for assignment one, similar to any website, similar to any info website, there should be a handle, a Facebook handle, not a link, but a handle. That's the icon. You click on Facebook, it takes you to the Facebook page of the organization. Keep that in mind. You create them for the first assignment, but there shouldn't be any content. But later on, particularly especially with the second assignment, some content will be required under Facebook and under YouTube. And then for the final examination, all accounts should be embedded with content. Remember, only use free blog sites, never pay, always choose for charity, not for business. When you're choosing the option on the blog site, always choose for charity, not for business. Because in most cases for business, what will be required is that you actually pay at some point. Upload 4 successful stories, Please take note of the POPI Act that came into account. You are not compelled to use pictures. You can choose to blur the faces of people. You will not be penalized if you did not use pictures. This is for uploading of successful stories. Since we have to take into account the POPI Act and be law-abiding citizens, please keep that in mind that you can blur the face of individuals out of respect. Thank you. And then moving on to the technical presentation, the spelling on the blog, the grammar, the referencing where it is needed, production quality of your activities would also be taken into account when it comes to calculating the technical presentation mark. I am sure we are familiar with this. You are a third year student, the final year student, and you know very well what is expected within the diploma, the standards that are actually upheld within the program. So key factor in order to succeed in the module, authenticity of your work. I said there must be an NGO. You must really find an NGO to work with. If you are still moving around and actually not looking for anything, you won't make it, believe me. A fictitious one will lead to an immediate zero. It is a definite zero. There is no other way. It is, you have not abide by what is required by the assessment. There is an assessment plan, and we asked you to actually do what is right. You know very well what instructions have been given. So keep in mind that there's certain things that you should be aware of. DPR3704 mark composition. The assignments in this particular module or program they weigh more than the examination. Assignment 1 will actually be for 30 marks, assignment 2 will be for 30%, sorry. And then the portfolio is 40%, meaning the year mark is 60%, and then the examination is 40. Thank you very much. I think there will be a follow-up class with regard to assignment 1 to clarify certain issues that come through. But the purpose of these classes are to actually try as much as possible to minimize queries from students. So please ask your friends, your fellow classmates to actually view these videos, because we deal mostly with the frequently asked questions. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.